You may start from now.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sorry for inconveniencing of my presentation first. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Erma Yulihastin, research scientist from LAPAN. I want to talk about propagation convection system of early morning precipitation peaks, so-called EMP, over the northern coast of West Java. So this is actually our published research. First part, and the second part we under review in GMSG journal. So the EMP, what is the EMP? How significant of EMP? This is a very hot topic in Indonesia right now because we experienced with the big flood in 2020 last year, and this is associated with rainfall, extreme rainfall related to the EMP and associated with the TAMS. TAMS is cross-equatorial northerly surge, okay? And we see here Sadewa. Sadewa is basically an NWP operationally in LAPAN, and we running hourly and 2 days prediction, three days prediction later. From 2000, at about over 10 years later. So this is captured. The EMP is captured by the Sadewa, elongated over coastal region, and its background wind from northerly wind. It's very strong here. You can see here, and recorded by the NKG at about over 300 millimeters per day occur over Jakarta city and a big, greater area of Jakarta, Bekasi, and so on. So the repeatedly of phenomena is occurred again in this year, and we still remind of this phenomena, which is in 20 February to 2021. It's recorded 200, almost over 200 millimeters per day. And Sadewa in 1 kilometer spatial resolution also can predict it accurately before the chance hits and make extreme rainfall over Jakarta. So this topic is mainly about a diurnal pace problem. Okay, I want to mention here, it's about coastal precipitation because in previous study, Ogino have mentioned about precipitation that almost concentrate over coastal region. And the EMP is very early in timing of peak of rainfall over coastal region that was detected over northerly coast of West Java, this our study area. And besides that, we define the two phenomena that probably can influence the background condition for the EMP. What's the phenomena? The first phenomena is about TAMS, northerly wind, defined by Hattori et al. About a strong northerly wind over this box, a green box. And SCSCT is South China Sea, cold Tang, is ocean phenomena, which cold of the sea surface temperature occur over this, that the safe, the impact is safe oceanic precipitation. So we next move to the next slide. So what about the coastal precipitation and the EMP? Because in previous study, the EMP did not mention or did not capture as a propagating signal, because coastal precipitation characterized by starting from 10 LT, and the EMP is not captured over from this study. But Renggono et al. In previous study can capture the signal of EMP from the radar data, composite radar data, climatology. This is occur in secondary peak of signal of EMP from cloud activity. So let's try to identify the EMP first before we make a simulating in numerical study to identify the mechanism processes background develop the EMP. So this is the data we use in this research, and the EMP is identified from 1 until 4 LT. So the next step is I want to understand or identify the EMP clearly from the month-to-month variation and climatology data. And we see here that the secondary peak of precipitation occurred just in January and February over the coastal region. So I want to understand more about this signal, and I make analysis of Hofmöller, but in Hofmöller it's not captured about the maximum precipitation in early morning. So I need to more detailed analysis because I want to understand is the EMP is significant. So I need harmonic analysis to derive this. And the harmonic analysis, we can see here that the frequency of EMP is significant, okay, for the morning precipitation at about 42%. And you look here that the amplitude of harmonic analysis have large compared to other type of rainfall. So the next question is about have EMP large amplitude and frequency? How about that? So I want to make an analysis, more further analysis, and make a distribution of the frequency, accuracy, and mean amplitude here. And we can see here more clearly that the EMP is have base of amplitudes occurrences here. So the gamma distribution is have signal that the timing of EMP must be randomness, okay? And how about the large amplitude here compared to other type? This also make a signal that this is proof a significance of EMP for frequency and amplitude. Okay, now what about the relationship with extreme precipitation? So we see here more clearly about the composite of general cycle precipitation. I draw by 300 and almost 400 data, significant rainfall, climatology, and we see that the EMP is concentrated over coastal region. And what is interesting more is about the propagation. Okay, the propagation is look very clear from there are land propagating from the inland, but after concentrate over coastal region, it's look like that the propagate tend to land again. So what about the extreme? The extreme is captured by this. The EMP is very significant related to the extreme because the significant are the maximum precipitation in EMP concentrate over coastal region compared to the other type of rainfall. This is concentrate over land, and this is not to maximum rainfall over coastal region. So this is a very associated improvement for the extreme event related to EMP at about 40 sample of data. So now what causes the EMP? Because the background condition I mentioned before about SCSCT and chance, so I make calculated with statistical value, and we can see here more clearly that the chance and SCSCT very clear over these EMP samples. And if we see here that the green is EMP, is almost distributed over this extreme diagram. So it's answer about the relationship with chance and SCSCT. So the EMP is very close relationship with two phenomena, which is induce the background condition of the EMP. So this is just for make more clearly between EMP and other type. And we see here that when EMP occur, the code of SCSCT clearly look here, appear in here. So the next part is about, yeah, we understand that the EMP events will be largely determined of two factors. First is about location of the initial convection, and the second one is about direction and speed of propagation. So we want to understand more about the physical processes related to those key factors. Then we try to apply the numerical study to answer that. So the second part is about how about affect the background wind for the EMP. So for the sample of EMP and other, we have almost 50 sample of EMP, and we try to make composite here. And we separately by strong northerly, weak northerly, and southern northerly. And the red box is we define background wind, because in red box here, we propose that very influenced and very close related with the precipitation over coastal region in West Java. So we try here. And if we look at the more detail in here, maximum precipitation occur in strong northerly and also in weak northerly, and is here, like here. So the initial convection show the different pattern between three types of background wind. So I try to make more detail about this and make a simulation from WRF and WP and make three samples as represented by strong northerly, weak northerly, and southern northerly. Strong southerly. This is from the model result. Each of the simulated event agree qualitatively despite some discrepancies. Okay, so we understand more about the process about the EMP under strong northerly. We call it about landward cold pool because we just look here that the initial convection has developed from 0 LT, but quietly rapidly move and decay in here in 1 LT. And you see here that the anomaly potential temperature, the cold anomaly of temperature potential occur here at about 0.5 kilometer. This in our interpreted, we call it cold pool, okay? And the cold pool is propagate here. And you see here that this is clearly about mechanism of backbuilding. And backbuilding is thunderstorm that, characteristic of thunderstorm that appear in mesoscale convective system. So we see that we can identify cold pool here in landward propagating of strong northerly. And we look here that the resampling of backbuilding mechanism is very clear identified from this simulation. And how about the speed? The speed is about 12 meters per second, okay? So the next type is about offshore cold pool. How about offshore cold pool? This is not too strong compared to strong northerly, but we see also here that cold pool is developed here, developed here in 22 LT, and we see that the propagating of cold pool is not induced the new convective cell, okay? And how about the propagating? It's more slower because it's just around 5 meters per second. Okay, and let's move to the tree type, okay? This is the tree type. This is, this is a landward cold pool from the weak northerly. This is complicated mechanism because a deep convection appeared at here, in 20 LST, and decay we see here decay of convective fluid making cold pool again and propagate to the land, okay? And how about the speed of cold pool? Yeah, speed of cold pool is about 7 meters per second. So hereby we can confirm that the TP propagation or cold pool propagation and advection by the background wind is a plausible mechanism for the propagation convective system associated with the EMP event. So how about the rule of gravity wave? We considering the rule of gravity wave because in first cold pool, yeah, in landward cold pool, initial convection occur here. And we try to make drawing
very limited time, so
zonally and meridionally
to conclude your presentation.
Like here, and we see here that the layered structure of temperature anomalies become disrupted. So we see in near surface occur the signal of wave-like propagation very clearly, and when the peak of convection occur, the signal of wave gravity is disrupted. So here when we show that the possible influence of zonally propagating gravity waves is the initiation of convection offshore over Western Java. So this is our conclusion. The first of all is we understand that the EMP has a significant frequency and related to extreme rainfall event and characterized by offshore as well as landward propagation, flat pace distribution, and large mean amplitude. The flat pace distribution of EMP, that the timing of coastal precipitation is not necessarily locked to the pace of the land sea breeze, thus allowing the precipitation to occur more randomly. Furthermore, the role of STS-CT and chance as influencing factors for the occurrences of the EMP event. We also identify the cold pool that is generated below decaying convective clouds induce new convective cells near its leading and or trailing edge while propagating, and affected by background wind, which is respect the speed of CP is 5 until 12 meters per second. The mechanism involved in development of initial convection is the propagation of cold pool, and it has been demonstrated that sea breeze and gravity waves may play important roles in propagating convection system over the coastal region. So the recommendation from this research is we need an accurate short-range NWP to anticipate risk weather-related hydrometeorological disaster, and we have planned to improve the resolution of spatial of Sadewa for Indonesia from 5 kilometers to 1 kilometer and 200 for West Java with this design of setup. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Erma. So for all speakers, so we